Hey everybody, good evening. Eilers-Heffner, Senior Ruby. I'm joining you in Rock Your Purposes Book Club, Rock Your Network, Marketing Business, Chapter 4. So this chapter has some really good pointers. Something to keep in mind is that we are a product-driven company, but we're very good at promoting our products. And this is a different company that she is from. And so their comp plan and things work a little bit differently than Plexus. And so asking for lots and lots of customers isn't necessarily what we recommend with Plexus. So when we recommend customers, we want to encourage wholesale customers because they're getting the best price, and our company allows for that to happen, where not all companies allow that. And then I do like how she really talks about leading with the business. And what I've found personally is just really leading with the products and sharing the business at the same time. So the struggle with leading with the business, to some degree, for some people, I mean, there are people looking for a business opportunity, absolutely. About 80% of the population is a quote unquote yellow, a helper personality, and the minority of the population is actually looking for another job. So most of the diamonds with Plexus have actually started because they wanted to get their products paid, and things just kind of grew and grew and grew, and they saw the value and the beauty and caught that dream. And so when you say, hey, do you want to work this business with me? People are like, no, I have 4 kids and a full-time job, or 6, full-time jobs and a dog and all these things. So no, I don't want another job, And so I really love the approach of sharing both, sharing the products and sharing how we can get our products paid so easily, how we work as a team to make that happen, how we have a lot of resource at our fingertips to allow that to happen. So I do really love how she talks about, or this is my aside, sorry. The other thing to do is lead with an inspiration, leading with something really inspiring. Like Tamara Holloway is a diamond who was living paycheck to paycheck while her husband was in PA school, so grad school. And she used grocery money, bought the products, hid them from her husband. This is a great story, right? It's funny. It ends up being really funny. And so she'd jump out of bed when he would jump in the shower, and she'd go drink her pink drink. And then she'd jump back in bed before he'd get out of the shower. And then about a week into it, he's like, all right, what's going on? You're different, in a good way. What's going on? You're different. You're more like yourself. And she's like, oh, I'm so glad you brought it up because I'm dying to tell you, I feel so much better. So kind of a funny story like that, or an inspiring story, Abby Kappa's story of being a single mom. And she knew that she needed to make ends meet and not live in her car and have this baby. And she wanted to provide for her baby. And so she found Plexus, So identifying with people and relating to them and sharing a story that's inspiring is a good way to approach that leading with a business opportunity as well. And then, so she does talk a lot about sampling, sharing the product. So I always carry extra slim I have them tucked everywhere at this point. So I have them tucked in my wallet. I have them tucked in my purse. I have them in a couple in my car, which now that it's getting warmer out, I don't really want to leave them in my car, but I have a little zipper pouch with my pens and my headphones that I take to work and keep with my planner. And so I always have a slim with me. And so when we were at a restaurant, and this girl was like, oh my gosh, I'm on this liquid diet. I'm not tolerating these things. I'm like, here's a slim. This will help you. And I was on Facebook with her from being at the same restaurant earlier and was able to stay in contact with her. So another huge hint when you are giving out samples is to make sure you have a contact, because people will try a sample and be like, that's nice. And that's it. They aren't going to contact you. They're not going to call your business card. They're not going to email you. They're not going to look you up on Facebook. They're going to go, that was refreshing. Okay. And then when somebody messages them and talks to them about Plexus, they're going to be like, oh, I had one of those once. It was pretty good. Tell me more about this. So you no one's going to reach out to you. And honestly, are you really going to reach out to someone? I mean, even if you go to Sam's or Costco and they have the little free samples, I'm like, that was a great little whatever cinnamon roll. I'm never buying that cinnamon roll. Never, ever, ever. I don't buy that stuff, it's not something I go back to Costco for. It truly is like, that was a nice sample. Very, very, very rarely have I ever sampled something at Costco and then actually bought it. So just keep that in mind. Like, think about your own experiences with samples at the grocery store even, and that's pretty simple, you know. And then Sip and Sees are super awesome. I encourage you all to look up the Sheila Medina's Power of 3 video. It's on YouTube. It's older. You know, this is when she was getting more started, right? And she talks about how her friends would get together and they would do a sip and see. And people were showing up like, my husband has diabetes, or my brother, or my this, or my that. And so she really talks about, they talk a lot about these sip and sees that they did. And it was really, really, really encouraging. And so I encourage you all to watch that. But we've done sip and sees. Debbie and I have done sip and sees a lot. We've done those up here a lot. I've done them with other teammates, and it's really fun. And it's a great, great way to chat and get around and talk and just, you know, get to know people in real life, things like that. And it's a great way to hand out samples. So we would mix up a big slim pitcher and everybody could try it. At work, I would mix up a slim, like in a clean water bottle, you know, new water bottle. I'd mix it up and I would get the little medicine cups that the nurses put their pills in to give to the patients. I'm like, here, try it, you know. You have to be careful in the hospital because we have rules on where we can consume food and beverage and things like that. But if it was in an opportunity where I could do that, I would like go in the break room, like, here, you got to try it. I just mixed it up, you know. Very powerful to be able to share a sample. And like I said, you want to do that with people you can follow up with. I do this for teacher gifts. So I put like a slim, and before we had the lean individuals, a P96, some body cream, ease cream, write a little note about what they all do. And they're my kids' teachers. So obviously I'm in contact with them a lot. I have good kids, so not a lot in like a bad way, but just I have constant access to them, and therefore I can continue to follow up. So my personal thing, I tend to follow up with them a little bit more once my kids aren't in the class, because I want it to be that professional relationship and I don't want this to cloud it. But it also depends on the teacher and how open they are to like hearing more about it at the time when my kid's also in the class. You know, like I just want to separate those two a little bit and maintain both things as a professional relationship. Being a product of the product. So this is huge. You know, Lauren and I were actually just talking about this. Here we are, we're working really hard this month, going after all these goals. Like, I didn't even eat lunch today. Emmeline was like, here, mama. And she was trying to make a salad for me. She's like, I can't find a container. So I guess I'm not doing this. But she literally was in the fridge, like trying to bring me a salad. So adorable. And so here we're like, we forgot to eat, we forgot to do this and that. But generally the rule is to be a product of the product. You want to be taking care of yourself, getting some exercise, getting your water in, you know, showing that these products work is so important. You know, it's so, so important. And Jennifer Lee said in a video, don't go through the McDonald's in your Plexus Lexus, you take the minivan. So just really, you know, making sure that we have our best foot forward, of course, and all of that. So you want to remember that facts tell and stories sell. So, you know, when you're sharing a business opportunity, make it something inspiring and relatable to them, but also kind of sharing where we were before Plexus. Like, I just had talked to 2 girls today. Oh my gosh, at 3 o'clock before Plexus, I was like, let's read a book. Let's sit down and watch a movie because mama's tired and I need to close my eyes. So that was my pre-Plexus. And then I learned this and this about blood sugar regulation. I learned this and this, you know, keeping it quick, and then how Plexus changed my life. I don't take naps anymore. I can go from 5:30 in the morning until about 10:30 at night, typically, and have energy that whole time, you know, sharing something that is going to make a difference to other people. Definitely showing that Plexus is a healing process and not a quick fix. And then sharing your best part of, my kids no longer get sick. I have more energy. I don't have joint pain like I used to. My inflammation is less. So really changing those big key components. And then I like to now, like I started early on, but also sharing my business success. You know, hey, I've been able to pay for Christmas without having to put anything in a credit card. You know, that was earlier on. I've been able to do this and this with this blessing of finances too. So that's pretty cool. I also really love that she talks about good customer service. So definitely getting people on the phone to sign them up and answering those questions and telling them, you know, a little bit more about the products as you're going through that and putting them at ease, answering their questions. It's so much better than giving them your website and giving them the instructions because they just don't know. They don't know what they're looking at. I had a girl yesterday. I was like, good news. I can sign you up. I found a code for the membership. I said, call me. And then I sent my link because I saw she was reading it. And I'm like, I'll just send my link. So it's already there. So when she calls me, she can just click on it right away and I can talk her through. And she's like, call me today. I got busy last night. You know, I'm like, that's okay. I understand. She's like, I went to the website. I had no idea what I was looking at. It was super confusing. I didn't know what I needed. I couldn't find the packs you were telling me about, you know, different things. I'm like, I know, I didn't mean to send that to you and not connect with you. I sent it because this and this. So thankfully she's a friend of mine. She wasn't like freaking out or anything, but definitely so much better to like talk people through. Sending a nice handwritten note after they sign up with a little note. I like to give them, so this is, you know, something that I've been able to do as my business has grown. It wasn't necessarily something I did right away. I always wrote a note. Hey, thanks for joining my team. I'm so glad you're on my team. I'm so glad we can do this journey together. But then now I've been able to buy the sample pack. So I'll send an ease cream and a body cream sample, and maybe they ordered hunger control slim. So I'll send a microbiome slim, you know, just a few things, kids vitamins if they have kids. Send them a little note. Here's some other stuff to try and what it's good for. You know, this one's good for sunburns, bug bites, giving them some tools to use with that, and a thank you card. And I think, you know, how often do we even get real mail in the mail anymore? How often do we get real mail in the mail? We get bills and junk mail. You know, we don't get as many of the handwritten. A lot of people are even doing all their wedding and baby showers and invites and wedding invitations all online. So it's really nice to get something that's actually handwritten, and you've taken the time to do that. And I think that will speak really loudly to a lot of people. Following up with them, so getting them in the 3-way chat right away, getting them into the team pages right away, setting up a 3-way call with your sponsor so they can feel connected that way. And getting them the information on how to use their products, and definitely following up. So some people are good. They'll just read through everything and they got it. And some people, you're gonna have to call them every couple of days and say, how's it going with your water? How's it going with your detox? Tell me exactly what you're taking, because they're just not as good on like Messenger or texting or email. They need that call. So really reaching people with where they're at and what they need. And then we want to follow up with our subscription orders, making sure they're getting the proper products. If we've had them up their ProBio 5, making sure they're getting enough ProBio in their order to replace that. Make sure that we're reaching out to them to help them be successful with their goal, making it about them. And then following up is key. So when I have people first starting the products, I probably follow up excessively, like every day, every other day for the first couple of weeks. Like I stay in really close contact with them to make sure that no questions come up or that I can combat detox right away. And then I like this saying is treat them like royalty and they will be loyal. And, you know, it's really true. So just really treat your people well and treat them how you would like to be treated. I mean, kind of goes back to kindergarten here, the golden rule, but it's so important. So going back to sharing the business, so when you got them on the phone, you're helping them get signed up. You know, I always say, you know, you have this opportunity to share with some people and get your product costs covered, you know, and I tell them it's not a requirement. Some people, that is a complete turnoff. They don't want anything to do with sharing at all. And so I do tell them, like, you have this option, you're not required. It's a great way to get your products paid and help some people. Do you know anybody that has migraines or digestive issues? I list out a bunch of things: autoimmune, digestion, weight loss or gain goals, thyroid issues, insomnia, like, and that I'll even type that out so they can see it and read it, and then it might help trigger that, you know, so kind of reiterating with that. And then also if there are people that just don't feel comfortable talking to other people about this stuff, and so I'll ask them for referrals. Well, if you can think of anyone, can you put them in a 3-way chat? Can you let them know that I'm here, that I'd love to help, you know, and just asking for that. If anybody comes to mind, can you send them my way, you know, asking for referrals. So I do like to just, you know, throw that out there. Plexus is very generous. You're not going to be sharing this alone. I will help you. I can help you right away. You can put them in a 3-way chat and say, hey, this is my friend Elizabeth, and she knows more about this Plexus stuff I just started. And I know you've had thyroid issues, so I thought maybe it would give you a shot, or it would be a good shot for you too. And then I can introduce myself, and I can kind of lead the conversation and know which things to send and which videos to send. So then that person that's learning gets that exposure too, and they're not on their own. And then using gut health and happiness is really, really key. And I'll use that to inspire people. Like, hey, if you just take a few minutes, like literally like 3 minutes a day, and just scroll through the gut health and happiness group, and you can see how amazing these products are and address so many underlying health issues, that, you know, like I encourage you to do that, you know, like kind of telling, like encouraging them to do that. So they're seeing that, you know, these products help with more than just what maybe they need help with. So like weight loss, I don't need weight loss. I never needed weight loss. That wasn't my goal, but I did need other things. And so being able to see how these products addressed other issues and wasn't going to make me just drop 20 pounds was really good for me to see. I needed to see that to feel more comfortable. So that is what I have. And we have about 5 minutes before we need to jump over to Pink Power's book club. So if anyone has questions or wants to add something, please feel free. You can unmute and talk. Don't sit on the table, please. You can come over here if you want.
I just add that the handwritten notes are just so huge. I won something, I think my first month, I don't even remember, it was something Rochelle was doing, and I won a bottle of Metaburn. And so it shows up with this lovely little card and a little handwritten note, and I was like, that is the sweetest thing. These people are just so nice. So that was just a big deal. So, and Rochelle, I have to tell you, I finally figured out what a technology taco is for. So she's all frozen. She sent me the Plexus water bottle that I won for our IPA chat, and there was this little technology taco. I'm like, what is this thing? And it's for keeping all your cords together when you're putting things in your purse. Very cool. It says Plexus on it.
That is super cool. Yeah, and Rochelle is amazing handwriting, and it's super, she's really good about writing, so it's really meaningful. Those little things, I got my husband some of those for Christmas, and I'm wanting to steal them if he's not using them. Like the little,
yeah,
with a snap, and so you can hold up your headphones and
yep. And the only reason I knew what it was is there was a label on the inside that said technology taco. So then I had to Google it because I didn't know what it was. It's really cool.
Good thing it was a clean site you found and not something naughty.
I'll get back.
You guys got to get these things for your chargers too. Frozen.
Cool.
Get these little things for your chargers so you don't ruin your cords, because we use our phones so much, we're plugging them in all the time, and this keeps them from shorting out.
Excellent.
That's my non-Plexus business tip for today.
You think like what that is, because I would love to get
sure.
one of those. All of my chargers.
It goes on your thing.
Yeah.
It slides down so that little connection doesn't get screwed up all the time.
Do you know what it's called so I could find it on Amazon? We can talk. That's okay. That's right.
I got it for Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll send you one.
We need to put that in the, like, rock your purpose. And you need this for your phone.
Yes. Business expense.
For some reason, it's on me. Somebody else talk.
I'm unmuting me.
All right. Anybody else have any final thoughts? This is a really good book. It's really easy to read. It's just like quick, really good points, right to the point, good ideas, helps us get thinking. So really worth the time because it's like big writing, you know. It's a thin book. Some of the other ones are they're great too. It's just they're a little deeper. So this has been a good book for this season, I think, for our lives with a lot of people having so many things going on. Rochelle is frozen. I can't even unmute her. All right. Well, we should jump off. It's 9:28. That gives us a couple minutes to jump over to Pink Power. So see you over there. Good night.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.